So in this video, I just want to show you reports. Now, I think reports is one of the coolest things about TrackMySubs. You've spent all this time, you've loaded in all your subscriptions, your lifetime deals, revenue if you put that in, and reports is a place where you get to see it all come together. So I'm just going to click over here on reports. And by default, it loads up with the subscription report. Now, there's actually 4 reports. There's subscriptions, lifetime deals, revenue, and cash flow. And they do a slightly different thing, a focus. You can jump to them directly. If you're not on the reports page, you can jump to them directly. But let's start here on subscriptions. So first of all, this top one here is the payments left this month. So this will show you from today how many different things are due this month based on your selection on the left-hand side here. So any combination, which you've probably seen this selection, if I just go remove and I'm just going to say show me everything for entertainment. Well, there's no more payments coming up for entertainment, but overall, I've actually got just over $200 worth of payments to come out this month, and this shows you broken up onto which folders that they're actually showing. If I scroll down a little bit, my folder totals, this will show me based on all these folders that I've got. Let me just close these up so we can see the folders. Based on these folders, this will show me the value over the next 12 months that's I'm going to have to pay based on these folders. And scroll again, and this will show you over the next 12 months. This is my payment. So you can see here in May, I have to pay between about $1,700, and it fluctuates. This is really handy to see when those big payment months are coming up, where those sort of yearly subscriptions collide and you end up with this huge chunk coming off your credit card. This will show immediately. Now, by default, you'll notice that the key is hidden. And the reason for that is that as your subscriptions get up and you get lots of folders, the key can be really cumbersome. And you can have so many of these that it becomes really horrible to see. So that's more of an option. If you want to do that, you can open up the key. And if you want to filter it by the key, you can do it this way. So you can always filter it by turning these different pieces off just by clicking on them. And you can filter your view. Now, there's no subscriptions data. Subscription savings data, I should say. If you actually save your subscriptions savings, so every time you make a saving, you want to save it in here, that will show up in the report down the bottom here. Now, let me jump across to lifetime deals. So lifetime deals, this will show you your purchase history. This is the day that you purchased it and how much you purchased it for. So this is a really good history of how much money you're spending on all those deals as they come up. And likewise, the key is hidden by default. And up here on the top right, it'll show you how much you've spent. And this is in the history of your purchasing lifetime deals based on every lifetime deal that you've entered into TrackMySubs. Now, if you scroll down a little bit, this will show you your savings. So when you add in a lifetime deal subscription, or if you edit it, you can add in what the recommended retail price is. And this is where the system grabs that recommended retail price and says, well, from the moment I purchased that, how much money would I have spent if I had to pay for that as a normal subscription? And so this will accumulate over time. So over time, it will add it up and you'll see these are the purchases of the new lifetime deals. And if you'd had to pay for those, and it will show you the value you've had. So you've got a total saved of $4,925.78. So this isn't added up. This is sort of a point in time value. So as of today, this is the total value saved since you've started buying lifetime deals. Now, similarly, when you go down here, it uses this recommended retail value for all your lifetime deals, and then it forecasts it out over the next 12 months. Now, when you look at this chart will always be a flat line chart because it's based on what your lifetime deals are today. Now, if you, for some reason, you're planning to purchase a lifetime deal 3 months from now and you happen to add it in with a purchase date in the future, you will see this jump up because it'll calculate it based on that future date. But it's very rare that someone actually wants to do that. So typically when you see this, you go, well, this is how much value I'm getting. This is how much money I would have had to spend every month to have those lifetime deals as normal subscriptions. So that's the lifetime deal ones. Now, if you've added in revenue, this will show you how much revenue you've got coming in each month. Very, very similar to the subscription report. It'll show that, hey, I've got $800 coming in from my website business this month. the totals over 12 months, how much money I'm going to be making from, so there's my consulting folder, there's a website business, and again, it will forecast it over the next 12 months based on those revenue entries, how much money I'm expecting to get. And if you had some one-time payments for revenue, it'll also show that too. Now, cash flow is very cool. So what this does is it takes the revenue that you've got and it goes against your subscription payments and it calculates cash flow. So one really cool thing about this is that you can create folders for different sort of cash flow setups. So for example, if you've got a website business and you've got a whole bunch of costs associated with that website business that you've put in as subscriptions, and you also say that, well, I also make revenue from that particular business. If you add the revenue in here, you can see a cash flow report just on this folder or just for that business. So this is really handy for people who, let's use the example of you build websites and maybe you've got 10 or 12 different clients and you receive so much per month for each of those clients for you to look after their websites. And for each of those clients, you've also got a whole range of subscriptions. So you might have hosting, you might have some WordPress plugins, you might have a SSL certificate, a domain name, those types of things that are related to each sort of client. So if you created a folder for each client, you would then be able to say, well, what's my cash flow for that client? And you'd be able to see whether you're actually making money for each one of those clients individually just by clicking on their folders. So this will show you your cash flow forecast over the next 12 months based on that. And you'll see here that on this particular example that I've set up that in these months, you're actually going to lose money. And that's probably because there's some hosting fees, or maybe there's a domain registration, or there's something that's coming out that's offsetting the actual revenue that you're getting for that month. Now, if you go further down too, this will show you the cash flow forecast, but it's carved up by in each individual folder. Now, when you first look at this, it looks a little bit complicated. But the idea of this particular chart is that you can say, so I've selected website business here, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 folders. So I can look on each of these and I can see, well, where am I losing my money? And I can see, well, it's not this one, the green folder here, which is the whole website business overall. I'm actually at $500. This is making me money. But I can look at this, well, this green one down here, this is where all my costs are. This is the particular folder where my costs are sitting. So if, for example, you're going, well, why am I losing so much money at this time of the year? You can move down here and you'll see what is it that's causing that dip. And in this particular case, it's, well, this revenue is dropping, or there's something dropping here on this particular folder that's causing that. And you can identify where that cost is laying. So that's cash flow. And on all of these, you would have noticed as you go through, they have the summaries across the top. So if I go back to subscriptions, the average cost per year is 8,000 odd per month and per week. This combines everything that you've selected and it calculates your yearly, monthly, and weekly average. So we'll add them all up for the year, divide them by 52 if it's a week, or divide it by 12 for a month, whichever your selection is. And likewise on all the others.